It's my pleasure today to be interviewing Ben Potenza, who's the Managing Director, Vice President, Sales and Marketing of EquipNet, which is a global company that for 25 years has been helping extend equipment life and the utilization of equipment, thus contributing to the circular economy before that term was even born, I guess.
Yep.
He's also Managing Director of 3S Circular, what EquipNet does.
EquipNet helps global manufacturers with their idle assets. And what that means is anything from laboratory instrumentation through manufacturing equipment, equipment found in warehouse and facility management, that sort of thing. We give them visibility to that equipment. We help them identify it, appraise it, value it, store it if necessary. We also help them more critically redeploy that internally. So if one facility is not using it, but another facility could use it, instead of purchasing something new, they can go to this ecosystem that they have and see that they have 4 of them idle, and all they have to do is fill out some forms and get it transferred over.
So looking back when you first started at EquipNet, how did you get that job, firstly? And then secondly, what were the skills that you had that helped you get this job in a startup?
Not only problem solve, but take things that don't exist and bring them into creation. This is very similar to, I think, a lot of folks in your group with sustainability. I knew I wanted to be in the web. I knew I wanted to be a part of the World Wide Web, and I just didn't know how. And I've worked my way into this e-commerce thing, but I knew there was something else out there, and all these startups were happening. And I did a bunch of interviews, and the interviews, I was getting depressed because most of them had no business model. Through one of those companies that I interviewed with, and through a mutual contact, reached out to me, saw that I was in the pharmaceutical, consumer packaged goods, chemical industry, and called me up and literally said, I think, the perfect job for you.
If we look across your whole career, what are you most proud of?
Right. So being able to work with a very small team, take what essentially was a business plan, a few pages of paper, and turn that into, a global presence in the circular economy, on the forefront of the circular economy, first on the forefront of e-commerce, frankly, and then breaking new ground into the circular economy.
Some other skills that you think that have helped you succeed in this way?
I mean, we talked about problem solving and networking, critical, communicating, critical, failing, critical, absolutely critical to growth. Now you have to adjust to the failure and learn from it, and not make that same mistake again. Learn from it and you move on to the other. So it's taking those initiatives and trying and understanding that it's all experience that you will use going forward.
So what do you see as being the key skills that are currently most in demand in the circular economy?
I don't think it's necessarily that you have to have sustainability skills, unless you are going to be a climatologist or you're going to be some sort of sustainability engineer. You're going to work for specifically a circular economy consultancy. Work ethic, good problem solving skills, great communication, and a willingness to learn and fail, as we talked about before. Those skills are transferable. Sustainability and the circular economy are omnipresent. They're everywhere. So the skill set that you develop inherently is going to have sustainability skills in it. You are going to meet sustainability at some point somewhere in your career. So getting skills in more traditional areas can only benefit you, can only make you indispensable, really.
Are there any, other than what we've just discussed about, are there any other skills and attributes that you look for related to sales and marketing?
I think I'll focus on networking, and with this answer, I go right to LinkedIn. I go actually to see how connected they are. How many connections do they have? How many groups are they involved in? Are they active in those groups? Do they post a lot? Who do they follow? That sort of thing. That to me is critical, because you're not going to be an expert at everything I need you to be an expert in when you walk in the door. But I need to know that you have a penchant for learning and that you have a network to learn from. Networking is probably the most critical thing that I would look at in those realms from sales and marketing.
If someone came to you who was confused about where to focus on, they said, well, I don't really know where to focus on. What should I do? What would your advice be?
If you have an interest in sales or an interest in marketing or an interest in logistics or operations or whatever that may be, focus on that. As I say, the circular economy will find you because you're well networked, because you're a good communicator, because you're a good problem solver. You will have the opportunity, it will present itself for you to become involved. I would not recommend freezing up and being like, I have to find the perfect job in the circular economy. I would say just take action. And if that action means getting in more of a traditional role in a company, then get in the traditional role, and then the circular economy will find you.
Seeing the path into sustainability career is the one that first involves maybe getting a master's degree, or getting a certification or some sort of, then they want to know what certification should I get. What's your perspective on this?
I have people that have no university degree that are very impactful in our company and part of our circular economy solution for our clients. If you've chosen a path that is specific, like an engineer, then of course it's critical, it's important. If you've chosen a path like sales and marketing, I would focus more on business and business operations while keeping your hand in what's going on with sustainability. There is self-education, and then there's education that you can find in groups like yours. But degrees, it's got to be very specific. Other than that, you'll be fine because the circular economy is going to find you.
What would you say to your younger self?
I would tell myself to be patient. I think in my head, I thought it would be quicker and that it would be more of a straight line, and it's never a straight line. For most of us, most of our adult lives are spent working. So you might as well find something you really, really like to do and enjoy it. Don't listen to people at work, distance yourself from people at work who are constantly complaining. You want to be the positive force there. Not only does it help you in your career, but it makes your life all that much better. I really appreciate the time. Feel free to reach out, or anybody in your network. I joined the group on LinkedIn. So if people would like to reach out, feel free. Absolutely. It's all about communicating and networking. So you never know.